Guys, let me get to this Umar Johnson. I'm gonna play this interesting situation. I think I got to fast forward. When somebody sent it to me, they sent it to me with a certain timestamp. So I'm a fast forward it a little bit.
Once again,
I get
say
to it.
community broken homes. I have like we talked about before. Feel everyone has the ability to live their life in which way that they wish, and I pass no judgment on anyone.
Yes, sir.
I entertain and in that what they've called me online. And I say that to say if there is a place, that I've been responsible, because as we know, Malcolm X probably said it the best, that the media is the most powerful tool on the planet because it can have you, loving your oppressor and hating the oppressed. But me knowing that, and me knowing that media, I lightly say that we should not date outside our race. You made many more colorful statements from the idea of going skiing with the snow bunnies and many other terms. But I do have children with multiple races of women, and white being one of them, and I'm interested to know, one, how you feel about this, and then as I sit next to you, and I consider you my brother. I consider you someone that I admire and look up to in many different ways. But
Likewise.
sometimes we agree to disagree on various. But this is a safe space
Yes,
to
yes,
have
sir.
this conversation.
Yes,
So
sir.
I say all that to say, as someone, I'm sitting on your couch today, Doc. Heal me, help me.
Right. When we
dead.
deal with
Yeah, it's a lot of pandering right now. But
Heal me, help me. It's Nick Cannon, it's too late.
yeah, let me play it. I'm gonna play a little bit of it.
interracial relationships, I always like to qualify the conversation for people who are listening, especially those outside the community, so that they understand I don't come from a place of hate.
Okay.
I have nothing against the Caucasian woman, Asian.
He is a liar. I had to stop it. I'm gonna let it play. But this nigga talk more junk about snow bunnies and all of that other type of stuff. He talk more craziness towards them than ever before. But anyways, I'm gonna just play it.
Wait, can I got a
woman,
question?
Go ahead.
What if he knocked up a snow bunny? How would you look at him?
I would celebrate him. I would actually have more respect for him if he knocked up a snow bunny.
I was conflating because he goes against them and then he knocks them up like the fresh guy. He goes against 3 or 4s and then he knocks one up. So I was trying to see how would you.
I would defend him. I would defend him. I would say, y'all, I would defend him the same way that I defend Fred, whatever. And I would say, I don't believe nobody. Listen,
He's
I'm
a victim.
objective enough. I'm objective enough to disagree with Umar Johnson on some of his talking points, but I would still never just automatically assume that whatever woman was saying was true just because they said it. We gonna have to have proof.
True.
That baby gonna have to come out saying, I want to understand, overstand, and understand peace and Pan Africanism in order for me to believe. That's his child. I always believe that there's certain lines that men got to stand their ground on. And one of them is this system that's set up, especially family court laws, to take advantage of men. And I think that there's been too many situations where men are accused of things that they didn't do. And I would have to see the proof before I just automatically seen a woman just accuse him of something. I don't dislike Umar Johnson bad enough to go against the standards that I think that all men should have. So.
Latino woman, East Indian, Arab, all the various beautiful women of the world. I have nothing against them. But I'm loyal to the black woman because she suffered the most.
I agree 1,000%.
At the hands of this society and this planet. And because I come from a black woman, I have a special obligation towards her. And when I look at when our successful black men tend to marry out or reproduce outside of the community, I think on some level it can be insulting to our sisters.
Okay.
I consider it insulting to the community as a whole. And as someone who works in the school, I've had to entertain conversations with black girls who are asking Dr. Umar, is there something wrong with me because it appears that when you all make it, y'all always abandon the community in pursuit of your spouse.
First of all, I think he's lying. I think he's making up this story on the fly. Because you can't say you was talking to a young girl that says, is there something wrong with me? Because as soon as a black man make it, y'all abandon women on the fly. What young girl thinks like that?
Exactly.
I think that he's making this up on the fly, honestly. But I'm gonna play a little bit more.
And when we look at the wealth differential between successful black men and the women they choose to marry or reproduce with, it's very obvious that there is a significant financial gain to the woman in many times, which equals a significant financial loss to the black community.
I've heard you say this many times.
That's
a very small percentage of the group of overall interracial dating. Because there's only so many successful black men at that level that can elevate and create generational wealth.
Okay.
Because if we keep it a stack, Doc, the most interracial relationships we see, because I've heard you say this before, the most interracial relationships we see is a strong, handsome black brother with unshapely white woman that's happy to God.
He's equally at fault.
Trying to be this as clear as possible.
Right.
But it's a black man that can have any woman he wants, but because he can put his car in her name and he can financially gain off of this white woman who looked like she done had a couple of Taco Bell trips.
Right.
And she happy that she got her a good black man. And those are the questions of why these young black girls like, why would he choose her and not me? Because she got the paper.
Right, but either way.
And that's the majority. Now, you see the athletes or the entertainers that might get them a...
But that's because there's only a few of you at that upper echelon.
Right.
But for those of you who are at the top 1%, income bracket, y'all go out the community to marry more than men similarly placed in their community.
That's such a small percentage, though.
Right, but black men marry outside of their race more than every other group of men per capita.
And I'm not making this as an excuse or an example.
No, not at all. But I'm saying that cannot be attributed purely to coincidence. So let me ask you a question directly, Brother Nick. You have beautiful African children by beautiful non-African women.
Right.
Would you say, honestly, your decision to reproduce with non-African women, was that deliberate? I don't want my sisters? Or were you a victim of unconscious self-hate programming?
Now, I've had this conversation.
That's a loaded question. But hold on, let me let Nick answer and then we're gonna talk about it.
Conversation on another one of my platforms with our brother Reza Islam. And it's funny because online they cut it up. And they made it seem like I was saying.
And I didn't see that clip, by the way.
Yeah, it was a clip where it pretty much was, I was saying exactly that we've been programmed and conditioned to be that the white woman is superior. That's and I made all the statements that there was a time that and obviously all the sisters came from because they just saw that element of the clip. There was a time in which white women were looked at as
the standard.
Not just the standard, but symbols of success.
True.
And or even that are unattainable. If we go all the way back to slavery,
forbidden fruit.
We not supposed, and vice versa.
Okay.
They looked at us like we ain't supposed to be messing with them, and we was looking at we are not allowed. We can die if we mess with them.
But see, that's the difference.
Yeah.
You could die messing with them. They're not gonna die messing with you though.
So I say all of that to say I understand the social programming, and I truly believe it's so. And then that makes me, as someone who's done the research and had the understanding, goes all the way back to even defining what is race and when was race defined. And as we know.
But before you define that, does Nick Cannon have a bias against black women when it comes to romance?
The quick answer is absolutely not. Because
how do you justify
I say
None.
this because
Okay.
one, just as much, I got a white baby mama, I got a dark skinned baby mama too. So
Right.
in that sense, I can equally say I ain't got no type. You know what I mean? Like I love
But I
women.
would push back because as a successful black man who has children with multiple women, for almost none of them, or let me take the positive,
Right.
only one of them being of African descent, does that not suggest that you clearly search out those who are not of your racial group?
So that's why I had to go here first, and I don't.
So what do y'all think about this this conversation? Like, do you think that it's a problem with people dating outside of their race?
No.
I don't
Right.
think it's a problem because I'm clearly a product of it. So I definitely
Me
don't
too.
think it's a problem.
Quentin.
But
Well, I know
ooh,
Quentin
this
don't.
is
He dating a
crazy.
white woman, so.
But it's something that Umar said. I kind of agree. I forgot the terminology he said.
Strays.
No, I mean
It's
that's you
something
say it
where,
openly, right?
huh?
Yeah, I did. Whoever liked me back, man.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not throwing a stray at you. I'm just saying that's just something that we
Fuck
talked
you
about
too.
even earlier on this stream in particular. You said, you dating an older white woman or whatever, right? So, I mean, I'm guessing that nobody on this panel thinks that. But go ahead, Q. What was you saying?
It was something that he said regarding damn, I forgot the wordage he said. Basically saying is the reason why you don't date or black women, you think this culture kind of pushes the narrative that black women or white women are more superior. Something along that terms, and at times online people make it like other races are superior, other women races are superior, right? We've heard it before. Black women ain't this, black women ain't that, blah 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 blah. Blah. Go overseas, get a different type of chick. They're not going to give you attitudes. So at times that can condition men to think, you know what? I don't want to date a black chick because I'm hearing all these stories. I'm seeing all these sexy reds and Cardi B's. Let me try something else. So I do agree with Umar on that because social media has just all these podcasters and everything. But we don't see the bad of other races a lot. We don't see the ling lings trying to extort from Fresh a lot. We don't see Carrie, who not Carrie, that's the wrong name. Lauren, who stabbed her boyfriend, and then
Yeah.
I don't think y'all saw the case. We don't see a lot of those cases because it's not pushed on social media. So I do agree with him on that point. But I'm okay with interracial dating. I think that like who like you. Like I'm mixed. My dad's parents gave him hell for dating someone not in his race. Like, and he said, no, screw you. If you don't like my wife, get out of our family. And
Yeah.
I think that I just
I
this talk in 2024, a lot of people are mixed with different races.
Yeah.
Imagine what it's gonna look like in 30 years. Like I hope Umar go knock up someone that's a different race because I think
Yeah.
he's just talking sometimes.
I want to just
I have a
talk about
question.
like not rich people, not athletes going to get white girls, just like normal Joe Blow, like Quentin out in the world dating white women. It's I think for most black dudes that date white women, it's just easier. Like when you approach them, they're more like flirty back with you. Now it's not like pulling teeth when you talking to them type of thing. And
Do you think that they're more promiscuous?
I do. I think white women over sexualize black men. I was listening to the radio the other day and they did a survey and they said 85% of white women will have sex with a black man, but it was like 2% that'll actually marry them. Like it was
What
wild.
about? But do you think that they're? But I seen like if you go to any bar, I got a bar that's out here at this place. It's pretty close. I'm not gonna say the name of it, but I got a bar that's out here. It's like the most popular bar that's out here. It's like a bar restaurant. It's a spot. It's pretty huge, and these chicks be getting like they be getting wasted, and they make it happen. I mean, it's a thing. Like, and they be getting took home and all of that or whatever, so on and so forth. And so, but it's not necessarily just from black guys. It's because the majority of the people that live out here are other. You know what I'm saying? So it's white people, Arab
It's the
people.
other.
Well, it's white people, Arab people, Asian, all of that, right? And it's majority white people though. But they just seem like super promiscuous in general. not just with black guys, but just in general? Do you think that they're promiscuous in general, or do you think they more promiscuous with black men?
I think
No.
black men, that whole moniker that black men have bigger penises is a thing for people who haven't experienced a black man with a normal size shit. But
I think it's with white men too. As I said, I went to a white college. Them white chicks that's married that was getting tossed around by the little white fraternities and going over to the basketball team and going back to the baseball team. Like, it's not only black chicks that get slutted out in college, it's them white chicks too.
Man, I think everybody gets slutted out.
No.
I don't know.
You have
I got a
I
question.
had one ex.
What?
I'm talking about all people. As far as I'm gonna come to you, Mika. I'm talking about all races.
Oh yeah.
I don't think
Definitely.
that like that is race based. I think that is
Yeah.
just it's just based off of the culture in general of being over here. Like, you know, the freedom. And people do what they want to do. I don't think that it has anything to do with the race itself. Go ahead, Mika. What was you saying?
No, I just had a question for y'all. To try to help me understand it. What is Dr. Umar's point, right? Because he told Nick Cannon he had African children with a white woman.
Um,
So if these are African children, then what's the point of bringing up that it's with a white woman? If you're telling me that a white woman makes African children, then why does it even matter? Why is this a thing?
he's basically saying that black men should prefer black women in general, regardless of the fact that because the child technically has black in them when they're born, that they are now black children. He's basically saying that black men should always prefer black women.
But if you're going to
The-
make the children black, if they're going to be black anyway, then he can
well,
get any woman and make black children.
he's
he might not
always
believe they black though. Cause you know how there's people out there be like, oh, you're not black. How the fuck you won't tell me what I am? They
he's
gonna
also
they
spoken
No,
of
yeah,
like
well,
you
we
can
talked
like
about that. We talked about that before,
Yeah.
and then Dr. Umar always says that the seed is with the father, right? I've heard him say that
No, no, no.
before. So
I hear what you're saying. I understand what you're saying.
I don't like it. Doesn't make any sense to me.
So
well
you
see he
saying
said
Umar Johnson should be able to bust down a snow bunny then?
Right.
Yeah.
If all the children are going to be black anyway, why does he have to prefer to be with the black woman? Now, it would be different if he was saying, now you're going around making, mixed race or multiracial children.
I think you're
That would be
right.
one thing.
You're right. You're right. If he's going to identify them as black children, then you're right. But let me tell you what part of the reason why I believe that he says it is because the large core demographic of the people that support him are black women. So you still
And
got to
black
advocate.
women.
You got to
Yeah,
advocate.
black women don't. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
You
I
got to
mean,
advocate.
Black
but
women don't like seeing they men with other races, but they're
Right.
okay with what black women being with other races. It makes no damn sense.
Yep. That's
yeah,
a fact.
and it's crazy because at the end of the day, like when it's exactly what you just said, Q, because the white person for me is the dad, right? So they don't have a problem with that.
So this is what
Yeah.
Bob Brown says, and I think that this is a good explanation of it also. Umar's argument is that the money goes to the white mom and not the black woman, so the wealth goes to the white and not the black family. So,
correct.
like for example, let's say for example, the man
Mm.
dies, right? Then the wealth automatically gets transferred over into the
The
wife,
white people.
and he's saying that the wealth should always stay within the community. That's how
Right.
Bob
And
Brown.
I would agree, right? I would agree. But my problem with the whole thing is you're not going to incentivize somebody to stay in a community if all of their children are always considered black. So that means they can make black children with anybody. And to say that, I'm sorry, to say that a white woman's womb is the same as the African woman is asinine to me. But
Well, to Phi Brown, I think that would be applicable if it was marriage. But like if you take somebody like a Nick Cannon who is not married, and the wealth goes to the children, I don't know. Shit
no, I
start
So,
get
to
what
an
Fire Brown
example
is
that
saying.
Umar said, he brought up Kobe Bryant, right? You know, his wife, I don't know, let's say she's Hispanic. I don't know what she is. So he passed. Now it doesn't really go to the Black community, right? Because she's Hispanic or whatever. I think that's something that he said, he brought up in the interview. This
But
whole race
technically,
talk.
according to Dr. Umar, it is going to the Black community because his children are Black, even though they're Mexican.
Yeah, he probably don't consider the children. He might be saying Black children, but he probably don't consider the children Black.
But see, but that's what I'm saying. He has to put a stamp on it. You can't do that in between, because if you're saying that these children are Black, you're not incentivizing a Black man to go be with a Black woman. It's like, oh, well, if my children are Black, I can make Black children with anybody.
Yeah.
I think Kobe's wife was Mexican.
Yeah,
that's what I said.
That's what they saying in the chat.
Oh, she's Mexican, yeah.
She's gorgeous.
Yep. Who's gorgeous?
Yeah.
Kobe's wife.
I love Hispanic women. They're amazing.
We know.
Oh, you talking about Kobe's wife?
Just most Hispanic women.
She's not
beautiful.
Hispanic. She's Mexican. That's not Hispanic.
Like, I thought it was like all in Latin. Sorry, my bad. It's like all encompassing, right? Like, what is Hispanic? It's all in.
I'm Hispanic. She's
Okay,
she's Mexican.
So Mexicans aren't Hispanic?
No, they're Latino.
Okay.
That's not the same thing.
Okay.
I don't know, man. Like, I don't know nothing about them. Like, I don't know the differences. I don't be knowing the difference
in heritage.
I ain't
It's a
gonna
difference
lie.
in heritage.
I didn't even know what a Mexican was.
Really?
When I moved here, I didn't even know what the hell a Mexican was. We don't got no Mexicans in the islands. We got Latinos.
Q, what island are you from?
St. Croix. When they said Mexican, I was like, what? What is that? Yeah, we didn't have no Mexicans. Sorry.
See,
I don't know.
So somebody in the chat.
I learned something this evening. I appreciate it.
The whole thing with this interracial talk, I think
y'all wrong.
In a couple of years, people gonna be different races. We're not gonna be able to identify who's what. You can't. Some people probably couldn't tell Mika was Hispanic, right? People probably don't know what races I'm at. So I think in
y'all
due
don't
time,
look black or white, or y'all don't look like a race.
Okay,
like you can't pinpoint what either. You can't pinpoint what either one of you are.
The funny thing is, if you go out the country, there are people as dark as Logic, and they're not even Black. There are people that are as white as Coach K, and they're not even white, right? So this whole like race talk, like if you actually expand and travel, like sometimes you can't really tell just by the outside looking regarding what race they are. Yeah. So that's why I don't be trying to guess nothing. But
somebody in the chat said it's more about culture now than it is about race.
Yes.
I think it's always been that way. And it's only in America that it's about race. Because outside of here, like in Cuba, it's like you can be a white Cuban, you can be a Black Cuban, or you can be like me, a mixed Cuban, and you're just Cuban.
Yeah, we don't talk about race in the islands. People don't segregate based on race. They kind of segregate by culture, different islands, or more like, let's just say, colorism. But we don't talk about the race, because you'll see people of different races down there mixed with a whole bunch of shit, and we're not dividing based on race. It's crazy. Up here, it's such a race war up here. Like it's always Black against white. It's like I need referee. What was it called? I need reparations for my ancestors. Bro.
And they want you to pick, right? When you go up in that type of household, they're like, yeah, and you have to pick a side here. I've never had to do that, so it's like a culture shock.
Yeah, it's definitely be like, you're not Black, you're mixed. Oh, wait, but
for some conversations you're Black, and some conversations you're not.
But I first came, I'm like, oh, I'm mixed, or no, I'll say I'm foreign, and they're like, oh, so you're not Black, you're not considered Black, or do you think you're better than us? I'm like, what?
And then if you get in a Black topic, you go on a Black topic, and then you talk about it. You're not us. I'm like,
because in the islands, like if someone asks me what I am, I say I'm Crucian or Trini. So that's why somebody in the chat, when they put that word Crucian, that's what we say, what we are.
I had never heard of that before. That was new.
Yeah, because I'm from St. Croix. We call us Crucians, and I'm half Trinidadian. So, but up here, it's like, what are you? Man, I'm not
Mika, they
telling you
want you
what
to
race
say
I am.
Poppy.
Bobby.
I'm dead.
Bobby.
Chulo. But yeah, up here is a little crazy when it comes to race, and it's just so much. Like when people ask me what I am, don't worry about it. I'm not even gonna tell you.
Mm.
It doesn't matter.
I'm
Yeah,
nigga.
it's
True
a
nigga for real.
it's a crazy topic because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, America is just like so fixated on race.
Yeah.
I literally grew up being the girl with the white dad.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why does it matter? Like in my house, nobody ever called each other white, mixed, whatever.
You know what's so funny? I know that if I want to get some videos made, some reaction videos made about me, all I got to do is talk about race.
Yeah. They'll come for you. Race.
Well, this morning I woke up. The first thing about you that came up was the fake relationship guru exposed.
They about to really
like,
talk
what the
about you now,
fuck?
Anton.
That's a relationship. When did Anton become a relationship guru?
That's what I thought too. And I was about to go talk shit, and
Whoa.
I was like, I ain't got time this morning.
That's funny.
Nigga had like 48 followers.
Yeah, 48 followers.
Mm-hmm.
God.
Damn.
The pro blacks is gonna come at you now, Anton. They're gonna be like, he
I'm
got
cool with that.
2 non-black girls up there.
That's a fact.
Watch.
And here are these non-black
Dang.
girls talking
Yep.
about black topics. What gives them the right for pick-me-shas? I know they fucking Anton. Side chick, pick me.
Colorism. Yep. It's about to be on. And it's crazy because these topics are real topics, right? That you can really be talking about, but they throw them at people that it doesn't even apply to.
Yeah. They're like, you're not even from here. Why are you talking about Americans? They're gonna say some shit like that. I've heard it all.
But I mean, it's cool though. So like, don't fight it. Embrace it because it keeps you in the algorithm. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I think it's funny.
You can't be online and be bothered about any of this shit.
It's
yeah,
funny.
it's dope. Like I'm looking at a guy right now. I literally, when y'all said that, I said, all right, so let me go and type my name into the algorithm and see what's popping up. First thing I see is Anton Daniels reject. Teen Fatty wants my attention. Like, why is my name even in there? You know what I'm saying?
What?
Like,
It's not
even
people
about
put
me.
your thumbnail.
Huh?
I think I told you someone put your face on a thumbnail, and I watched the whole video, and he didn't even say one thing about you. I'm like, what the hell? I wasted my time watching this shit.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're a content creator, I don't even think that you're a good content creator if people are not reacting to you. You know what I'm saying? So at some point, once you hit a certain level, people won't have an opinion, and that's cool. And I wouldn't trip about that. It's not a big deal at all.
I think it's funny. The bigger you get, or if you hang around certain people, they're gonna come for you.
Yeah, and that's cool.
Q. Somebody in the
got shit on
comments
me.
said, somebody in the comments, Q, said, mixed people are black for some topics, not black for other topics.
Yeah, that's true.
That's crazy.
I don't get that.
I mean, I appreciate the honesty.
That.
That's crazy. That's crazy to me. It's either I'm black or I'm not.
Standpoint. So can we? I don't get that standpoint. Explain that, Anton. Why you say you agree?
Because people pick and choose what they are depending on the conversation that they can justify that themselves being a part of. Right? So like, if you want to participate in a black conversation and you black all of a sudden. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to participate on the other end and you this all of a sudden, right? You tapping into that side of you. So, it just depends. People are going to justify it. Like, people are going to justify their participation in it. I see the most light-skinned of light-skinned guys. That's one of the most blackety black guys I've ever seen in my life sometimes. And it's like...
Because they're trying to overcompensate.